boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. This is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things dirty through a common sense lens. So obviously the Zelda movie announcement was a huge deal, especially among the Nintendo fan base out there. As a guy who's been on the Nintendo since like the original Nintendo, my first handheld was a Game Boy, and honestly, I loved Ocarina of Time. I cannot tell you how many hours I put into that game on my Nintendo 64, and I just love the Zelda franchise. The games are a lot of good. The world building is amazing. The universe is just wonderful. So many cool characters, so many cool monsters. Like, it's just a wonderful place to be. And it honestly completely and totally makes sense after the success of the Super Mario Brothers movies out there that Nintendo would lean into its next biggest franchise, which is outside, I don't think is undeniably, arguably Zelda in every way, shape, or form. And it's one of them situations where this all made sense. And obviously there was a lot of rumor stuff going on that was completely and totally insane. I did not believe any of it for an instant. I did not think there was any way Nintendo could be that dumb out there in the world. But ladies and gentlemen, it wouldn't be the first time I had been proven wrong that a corporation can indeed be that stupid. Well, after much speculation and a lot of rumor mill stuff going on out there, it looks like we have our, well, it doesn't look like, we do have our official announcement as to the casting for our new Link in Zelda in the live action Legend of Zelda movie coming from Nintendo. And it comes straight from Miyamoto himself, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, everyone is freaking out. Everybody wants to know what's going on. Everyone wants to know who these actors are, who have they played in the past, and most importantly, everybody is just rejoicing the fact that a dude who feels pretty will not be playing Princess Zelda. So we're going to share this article from thatparkplace.com, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what's going on, reveal these actors and this actor and actress, and of course, give you some of their history and background as to what's going on, and of course, what this means for the future of the Zelda movie and Nintendo franchise. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2K. We're sailing our way towards 2,100. I think we're at like 2054, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let us know what you think about all this. Are you excited for this casting? Does this make you very happy to hear? What do you think of this actor and actress? Do you think they are going to be a good fit for the role? Do you think this is going to end up turning out really well like the Super Mario Brothers movies? Or do you think it's impossible to actually properly adapt Zelda to the live action? Let us know about that in the comment section down below. If you want to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from thatparkplace.com and our dear sweet Marvin Montanaro. And obviously there's a bunch of articles that covered this. Cosmic Book News has covered this. You know, Fandom Pulse, everybody's covered this. Obviously all of the major trade magazines. But That Park Place, we like those guys over there with all. We like to give them a little credit. And honestly, Marvin put a great article together here with all of the information we need to go over this entire thing. So let's check it out. Shout out to Marvin Montanaro and thatparkplace.com. In a highly anticipated announcement that set waves through the gaming and film communities, Nintendo Legend and Zelda creator Shigeru Miyamoto revealed casting for the lead actors for the upcoming live-action adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. The film, a collaboration between Nintendo and Sony Pictures, which that part always worries me a little bit, will feature Bo Bragason as Princess Zelda and Benjamin Ainsworth as Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as the heroic Link. The news was shared via Nintendo's official social media channels and the Nintendo Switch app, marking a significant milestone for the project first teased back in 2023. And obviously this is something we'd heard from the rumor mill for quite a while, even after we knew that the official Super Mario Brothers movie was coming, especially after a lot of the hype leading up to the buildup of that movie and its absolutely massive success globally. It's one of them situations out there where at the end of the day, this always was expected to be the next thing. The rumor mill talked about this a lot, and it did not take very long at all before Miyamoto confirmed it. So as you can see here from the translation, this is Miyamoto. I am pleased to announce that for the live action film of The Legend of Zelda, Zelda will be played by Bo Bragason and Link by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. I am very much looking forward to seeing both of them on the big screen. And obviously you can see some pictures up there. Honestly, I think that's a very good casting for Zelda. The girl's pretty. She's got the blonde hair. I would prefer to see it a little more platinum blonde like what we see in the games. But you know what? I ain't gonna split hairs over the fact that she's at least blonde and they didn't decide to gender or race swap her. You know what I mean? Like, you take what you can get in the modern era, right, boys and girls? And the Link, it looks great. You know, young kid looking like he's in his teens, which is exactly lines up with what you need for Link. You know, would I prefer to see him blonde? Sure, but there's been a couple of different examples of Link over the years where he's had slightly different hair colors, so this also doesn't bug me very much either. Needless to say, these look pretty good castings, and guess what? They both got the right color of eyes as well, which I think is just wonderful as well. So it seems like we're getting something. It's off to a good start. At least the casting so far is doing very, very well. Since I'm very much looking forward to seeing both of them on the big screen. The film is slated for a theatrical release on May 7th, 2027, giving fans plenty of time to speculate on how this beloved video game franchise will translate to the silver screen. And this is one of those things, too, is obviously this looks like this is already going to be them in costume, so maybe this is something, maybe the film has already started working on it, maybe this is just pre-production, they're trying to take some pictures and stuff like that, but this looks like something they might have already filmed in the movie, so we'll have to see it and see what happens, but it'll only be spring of next year before we get to find out, and it'll be right in time for right around my birthday. If this is good, this could be a wonderful birthday present to your humble common nerd out there, boys and girls. So the Legend of Zelda franchise, created by Miyamoto in 1986, literally the year I was born, has become one of Nintendo's crown jewels with over 30 games spanning nearly 4 decades. The series follows the adventures of Link, a young hero tasked with saving the Kingdom of Hyrule and its Princess Zelda from various evils, often involving the mythical Triforce artifact. In case you've been living under a rock your entire life and have never ever played or know anything about a Zelda game, well, there you go. Iconic entries like Ocarina of Time, yes, Breath of the Wild, absolutely wonderful, A Link to the Past, Minish Cap, and Tears of the Kingdom have sold millions and influenced generations of games. I still haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom, but God, that game is so much fun. I was the same thing with Breath of the Wild. I never wanted it to end, so I literally didn't even beat I didn't even beat Ganon in Breath of the Wild until like literally the day before Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I bought it and started playing it the next day. Like I love that. I love that world. Those are games you can just go back and enjoy running around in the universe over and over again, finding new things, building new stuff. Like it's just so much fun. The live-action film was officially announced November 2023, following the massive success of Nintendo's The Super Mario Bros. Movies, which grossed over $1.3 billion worldwide. Nintendo was co-producing the project with Sony Pictures with Avi Odd, known for Marvel films like Spider-Man. Well, we'll see how that goes. On board as a producer. Directing duties fall to Wes Ball, the filmmaker behind Maze Runner trilogy and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I've only seen some of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movies, but they look beautiful. They're stunning. Didn't recently see Maze Runner, but let me know, guys, in the comment section down below if you enjoyed those movies and you think Wes Ball is a good fit for something like this. Ball has expressed enthusiasm for blending fantasy elements with grounded storytelling, potentially drawing inspiration from games like Breath of the Wild for its open-world exploration and epic scope. And honestly, basing it in the world of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom makes a lot of sense since those movies are the most recently in people's minds. But I mean, I'd love to see something based around the Ocarina of Time storyline as well. But like, needless to say, that makes sense. That makes sense. And there is realism. It's not just all fantasy and crazy. I mean, there's plenty of examples throughout the game where you're just running around talking to characters, trying to find clues, right? You're not always smashing monsters and trying to, take down and trying to find mythical artifacts. Sometimes you're just delivering letters and running around and helping people out with tasks. So yeah. Makes sense. You want to have something like that grounded. All good fantasy is grounded, at least to some degree, in reality. I mean, look at Tolkien and Lord of the Rings. Come on now, boys and girls. While plot details remain under wraps, the film is expected to capture the essence of the series' adventure, puzzle solving, and mythical lore. Production is set to begin soon, with a budget rumored to rival major blockbusters, emphasizing practical effects, isn't that nice, and CGI to bring Hyrule to life. The choice of a relatively young, lesser-known actors aligns with Nintendo's vision of fresh faces embodying the timeless characters and avoiding preconceived notions from established stars. And honestly, this is what all the fans asked for, too. That's what we wanted. I don't know anybody out there. I mean, there was a few people out there go, oh, yeah, this person would be great, or this person would be great. But the majority of the fans out there said, we want unknowns. We want unknowns. That's what you do in major iconic roles like that. It's the same thing with characters like Superman or Batman. I mean, obviously, Ben Affleck's Batman was great and stuff like that. But like, I like it. You want these iconic heroes out there. You want them to be cast with unknowns. You want these people to build these characters up on their own, and you don't want a bunch of preconceived notions going along with it. You don't want baggage. You don't want garbage. All you want people to see when they present these characters on screen is Zelda and Link. And doing it with unknowns that don't come with a lot of baggage and history works out perfectly. And you're wanting younger actors for this anyway. So they shouldn't be super well known to begin with. I mean, God forbid, the last thing we want is Rachel Ziegler out there. Prior to the official announcement, the film was shrouded in speculation, with one particularly persistent rumor suggesting that Hunter Schafer, a biological male identified as female, known for roles in Euphoria and Cuckoo, was being considered for the role of Princess Zelda. These rumors surfaced in late May 2025, originating from entertainment insider Daniel Richmond, Daniel RPK, which obviously we've talked about Daniel RPK on this channel several times. We've talked about it during our live streams. That guy is nothing more than a mouthpiece for the Hollywood executives. That's literally all he is, which is why he's only right about half the time. who claimed Schaefer was being eyed for the part. The speculation quickly gained traction on social media. However, that Park Place exclusively revealed on May 30th that these casting reports were unfounded rumors allegedly propagated by Schaefer's own agents or PR firm as a promotional tactic, rather than stemming from any genuine interest from Nintendo or Sony. And obviously, that did not work. The sales pitch did not work in any way, shape, or form. It fell flat. And I'd imagine that Miyamoto and the rest of Nintendo over there didn't even pay attention to any of this stuff in any way, shape, or form. And so it turns out it was all completely and totally fell flat. Obviously, filmmakers were seeking actors aged 16 and 23 for Link and Zelda, effectively ruling out the 26-year-old Schaefer. Today's official reveal of 20-year-old Bo Bragason as Zelda definitely debunks the Schaefer speculation, proving that Park Place exclusive scoop was accurate. Absolutely. So Bo Bragason, a 20-year-old British actress, steps into the role of Princess Zelda, the wise and often empowered royal at the heart of the series. Bragason has been building her career with roles in independent films and television, showcasing a range that could suit Zelda's multifaceted personality, from regal pose to fierce determination. And that's exactly what you want, because you see that all the time. You see Princess Zelda doing her proper thing, being at court, being the kind of proper princess that she's always been, and then you see her run off and be chic, right, and go out there and be just as much of a hero to a certain degree as Link is in the story. So yeah, you need somebody who can do both, and she's a very pretty girl, so that'll work out nice. Born in England, but having spent much of her childhood in Europe, including Luxembourg and Southwest France, Bragason is fluent in French and brings a worldly perspective to her work. She began acting at a young age, appeared in the 2021 horror film Censor, where she played a supporting role in her story about censorship. Her breakout came in 2024 Disney Plus series Renegade Nail, never even heard of it, a historical fantasy adventure where she portrayed a key character in the tale of highway robbery and supporting elements. The same year, she appeared in The Radleys, a vampire comedy drama, and as a guest spot in shows like Creeped, Out, Three Girls, and The Jetty. None of which I've ever heard of or saw, which also makes me happier. Her youthful appearance visually matches many depictions of the princess. Social media reactions have been positive, with fans noting her ethereal look and acting chops are perfect for the role. And that's great to hear. It sounds like the fans that do know what she's done in the past are very, very happy and excited about that. And that makes me happy. I want the fans to be happy. I am a fan of fans, and it looks like so far Nintendo's doing a good job making those fans happy. So now on to Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. Playing the silent, or mostly silent protagonist, Link, is the 16-year-old British actor Benjamin Ainsworth, which of course is one of the reasons why a lot of people were very afraid of them casting some big-name actor, because then instead of being mostly silent like Link predominantly is throughout most of the series, because Link, of course, is supposed to be you in the story, right? And you're supposed to fill in your own kind of stuff for that kind of situation out there. Well, if you cast some big name actor, well, they're going to want to talk all the time, right? And we don't want that. And you can be the strong silent type, even as a kid, even as an actor. I mean, there's a great example. For all the things you can say about the Eternals television show on ABC and how much everybody hated it, the actor that they cast for Black Bolt, and his name escapes me right now, let me know in the comment section down below, but he was perfect for that. That man could be so expressive with his face that you knew exactly what he was thinking just based on the look on his face. Whether or not this kid can pull that off or not, I don't know, but it absolutely is something that can and has been done in the past. All right, so Ainsworth, whose boyish charm and expressive eyes could convey the hero's bravery without relying heavily on dialogue. A nod to the games, where Link is often a player avatar with minimal spoken lines. Ainsworth, born on September 25th, 2008. God, he was born after I graduated high school. Feel old yet? In Nottingham, England, started his career in theater before transitioning to screen. He attended Northern Lights Drama School in Hull and landed a first major role in 2018 stage production Goodnight Mr. Tom as William Beach. His breakthrough came in 2020 with Netflix's The Haunting of Bly Manor, which he portrayed the eerie and sympathetic Miles Wingrave, earning praise for his nuanced performance in the horror series. In 2022, Ainsworth voiced 2002 would have been before he was born. Voiced the titular character in Disney's live-action Pinocchio remake, directed by Robert Zemeckis, opposite Tom Hanks. So there you go. I heard the Tom Hanks one wasn't bad, other than the Blue Fairy thing really threw a lot of people off. But you know what's going on. He has since appeared in comedy series, Sons of Critch, The Sand. He was also he voiced roles in projects like The Sandman. Oh, okay, that's why I didn't recognize his face. Other credits in Flora and Ulysses. Fans of X on Buzz have been casting, with many highlighting his resemblance to younger versions of Link and his ability to emote subtly. So there you go, boys and girls. All more good signs. So the announcement has sparked excitement across social media, and X users praising the fresh casting choices for avoiding Hollywood A-listers and focusing on talent that fits the character's youthful energy. Commenter just can't speak today, I'll tell you what. As production ramps up, expect more casting news for supporting roles like Ganondorf or other Hyrule inhabitants. With Miyamoto's direct involvement ensuring fidelity to the source material, the film could redefine video game adaptations. Until 2027, fans can revisit the games on Nintendo Switch streaming of Hyrule's cinematic debut. And it's one of them situations where, like, for all of the remakes and for all of the remasters and for all of the times everybody's freaked out over this kind of stuff and going, no, they're going to horribly ruin it. They're going to make it just horrible. It's just going to be bad. It's going to be nasty. Da, 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 da. Nintendo is kind of like one of those companies. It's very similar to like Games Workshop, where they're extremely protective of their intellectual properties, right? They will literally sue you over practically anything that feels like an infringement on their intellectual property, right? And they will copyright claim you. They will take stuff down, all of that kind of stuff. Nintendo used to be even worse about that with like their music in video games. Like it was a point where there was a time where you couldn't even really stream a Nintendo video game because they were so bad about copyright claiming just the music that was being played while people were playing their games. So they're extremely protective of their IP, which is one of the things that has given me hope for this kind of thing. It's what gave me hope for the Nintendo Mario Brothers movies. Obviously, all of the fans were very much rewarded with how much that movie was loved and how it made over $1 billion globally. And I think we're going to end up getting a very similar thing here with Zelda. Do I think it's going to be difficult to adapt Zelda to the Legend of Zelda to the live action properly? Yes. Do I think it's impossible? No, not at all, especially with the CGI we've got nowadays, the technology we've got nowadays. I mean, that was something when you go back to like the One Piece stuff with Netflix, right? When you talk to when you listen to Oda talk about it, right? Oda believed that we now had the technology to be able to properly bring a proper adaptation to One Piece on the screen without it looking ridiculous. And they did. They did an absolutely excellent job over there for that series on Netflix. So there's no reason we can't see all of the fantastical kind of crazy fantasy elements that happen inside of the Legend of Zelda series out there to not happen on live action as well. They have the technology. Nintendo clearly has the money. They clearly have no problem spending the money on this, especially after they just got done making over $1 billion on the last project that they put out there to the public. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, this sounds like a beautiful and wonderful thing. I think this casting is great. I think these two actors are really going to be able to pull this off. And I thank the Lord in heaven that, as we all assumed right from the get-go, that the Hunter Schafer rumor was nothing more than that. A rumor, a PR stunt, and a bunch of garbage nonsense. And now today, ladies and gentlemen, after all the controversy, after all the speculation, we now do officially have our Link and Zelda. And I, for one, am super excited. I cannot wait to see this movie coming spring of next year in May 7th, ladies and gentlemen, because I think this is going to be an absolutely fabulous time. And if done well, like they did to the Super Mario Brothers movies, I think Nintendo's going to end up having another $1 billion box office on its hands. And at the end of the day, when you make the fans happy, that's exactly what you deserve. So Nintendo, Miyamoto, good job on all of you guys over there, because this casting is absolutely excellent. And this fan right here is beyond cautiously optimistic. I am excited for this movie and the future of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, because if they keep giving us bangers like the last one, boys and girls, we are in for a very exciting and proper time in the future of Nintendo, the Cinematic Universe. And of course, we'll once again show Hollywood that yes, a video game adaptation, when it sticks to its source material, when it sticks to its lore, can be extremely successful, because at the end of the day, that's all fans want. And at least we know, it seems like so far, Nintendo is going to give us that. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. We've got our Link and Zelda officially, and we're going to get to find out whether or not they can pull this off next May. And at the end of the day, you fans will decide. So do a good job, Nintendo, and make the fans happy. Otherwise, we all know what kind of disastrous dumpster fire can happen when you ignore your customer.